Picture this, you're scrolling your phone, chilling in a chair, or pedaling your bike, and boom, everything starts falling apart. Screens fly off, legs buckle, wheels spin loose. Total chaos. That's the secret power of the tiny screw, the little spiral quietly holding our whole modern world together. Today, we're uncovering the insane true story of screws, from ancient water magic to the billions keeping your life stable. This gets seriously mind-blowing. If you're ready, smash like and let's jump in.
Let's rewind thousands of years. The screw didn't start as a fastener for holding things together. It began as a clever way to move stuff uphill. Around the 3rd century BC, likely between 287 and 212 BC, the legendary Greek mathematician and inventor Archimedes is credited with inventing or perfecting what we now call the Archimedes screw. Ancient sources say he may have developed it during or after a visit to Egypt, where it later became hugely popular for Nile irrigation. Picture a large wooden helix, a spiral blade, inside a tilted tube or cylinder. You turn it by hand, animal power or water wheel, and water magically climbs right up the spiral, defying gravity. Farmers used it to irrigate fields along rivers. Miners drained flooded shafts. Sailors pumped bilge water from ships. It even powered olive and grape presses for oil and wine. Mind-blowing fact, this ancient invention is still in widespread use today in wastewater treatment plants, snow blowers, grain elevators, and some renewable energy systems. The Archimedes screw wasn't about fastening, it was pure genius, an inclined plane wrapped into a helix that turned lifting into something efficient and reliable. Without this breakthrough, agriculture, mining, and basic engineering would have developed much more slowly.
Fast forward to the Middle Ages and Renaissance. By the 15th century, metal screws finally appear as actual fasteners, mostly for armor, firearms, clocks, and fancy mechanical presses. But here's the wild part. Every single screw was handmade, and no two were exactly alike. No standardization. Threads were filed by hand, and screwdrivers, they weren't even a common tool yet. People used pliers, coins, or whatever fit the slot. Screws had existed for centuries before the screwdriver became standard. These early metal screws were expensive luxuries, used only where precision mattered most. Widespread use in building, carpentry, or everyday objects? Not happening yet. The game changer came in the late 1700s. In 1760, English brothers Job and William Wyatt patented early screw-making machinery, though their factory struggled at first. Then Jesse Ramsden invented a highly precise screw-cutting lathe in 1770, later perfected by Henry Maudslay. These machines allowed mass production of identical threads. Cullen Whipple added pointed tips in 1859, making screws self-starting. Suddenly, screws were cheap, consistent, and everywhere. The Industrial Revolution exploded because reliable fastening became possible. No more custom fitting every piece. Machines, factories, bridges, and early assembly lines all depended on this breakthrough. Now for the fun chaos. Why are there so many different screws? It's an ongoing arms race against real problems like slipping, stripping heads, rust, and tampering. First, threads. Wood screws have coarse, deep threads that bite hard into timber. Drywall screws are sharp and fine-threaded with black coating to resist corrosion and avoid cracking sheets. Machine screws have uniform threads from metal to metal with nuts. Think electronics and appliances. Self-tapping or sheet metal screws drill their own holes. Deck and concrete screws are tough and coated for outdoors or masonry. Then the heads and drives, the real stars of the show. Phillips, invented in the 1930s by Henry Phillips, cross-shaped slot for self-centering on assembly lines. Torx, or star-shaped, even better torque transfer, common in cars, bikes, and tech. Pentalobe, Apple's tamper-resistant star, designed to make DIY repairs harder. Security or one-way heads can't be unscrewed easily, used in public fixtures, prisons, and ATMs. Weird outliers include multi-tiered designs for extra hold or aerospace exotics. Stat to blow your mind, hundreds of billions of screws are used worldwide every year. In the US alone, estimates often hit over 200 billion annually, enough to wrap around the planet thousands of times if laid end to end.